All right, today we're going to talk about a rare late night video from me after I dropped the reaction video. We're going to talk about DeAndre Swift first. And also, we're going to talk about Matt Patricia quote saying that the coaching woes when they have the leads going into the fourth quarter is not on him because he had one of the best or top Super Bowl plays in history. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Anytime you need to reach me for a line question, business query, sponsorship, piston question, or YouTube question, hit me up on Twitter. It's the fastest way. Then Facebook, then IG. All my links are in the description. So, a lot of people are trashing DeAndre Swift and, questioning, is he a bust off the drop? Some of the things people didn't notice about the play, he ran a beautiful route. I think it was a corner route he ran. He even chopped his feet with a stutter, got the linebacker to freeze. I believe he ran the 7, whatever you want to call it, corner flag. He ran the 7-night route to perfection. He turned, the ball hit him in the chest, and he dropped the ball. Now, at the end of the day, as insensitive as fans are, and even people that's not even Lions fans making memes about him, it's funny. But at the end of the day, he can't let that define his career. You know what I'm saying? He scored a touchdown. He had the highest of the highs, and then he dropped the game winner, the lowest with the lows. But you know what? When I look at like games I competed in, and no matter if it's a real football, basketball game, a scrimmage, just a pickup game, or maybe even it be Madden or 2K, whatever you play, it never comes down to just one play. You know what I'm saying? In basketball, you can say we lost on the last shot, but if you 13 for 26 from the free throw line, shit, if you just make 2 or 3 more free throws, you could have won the game. So people got to focus that didn't come down to him just dropping that ball. All right, that came down to, the team imploding. All right, stopping at 23 points. Same thing in Arizona last year. Instead of going out there being aggressive and lighting the scoreboard up and selling for field goals and not kicking touchdowns, instead we punted and played conservative. Matthew Stafford had a pick that he predetermined in his mind he was going to Marvin Jones on the pass. All those things accumulate. Early on, where the run defense didn't do too well. Jamie Collins getting ejected. He could have changed the trajectory of the game as well. Also, you could talk about all the cornerbacks that was hurt. You could talk about Kenny Galladay wasn't there. You can add that all up in one equation and say any of those or multiple things could have, probably, be the reason we lost the game. Okay, he dropped the ball, but then again, you had a 23-6 lead. You had a missed field goal by Matt Prater, which is going under the radar. And then you could take it a step further and say maybe they should have punted and never gave Trubisky life. They should have punted the ball and backed Trubisky up. So it's coaching issues even before we get to the last drive. Collins made a dumb decision getting himself kicked out the game. Okay? Then you could say, all right, Trufant went down. Then you could say Coleman went down. Tony McRae gave up a big play. What if Coleman gave up that big play? While Coleman was out there, he didn't give up that many big plays, if any I can remember. So all the energy you taking, you putting it on this brother, he's a kid. You seen Pettigrew get the ball snatched from him and the Titans run the other way. You seen Eric Ebron drop multiple balls. We know he ain't had as many reps like he should have because of the hip or the knee injury. This picture right here is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? What's the good days without the bad days? What's the sun without the rain? Then it wouldn't feel so good without the bad times. This ain't gonna define him. He's gonna get better. He's gonna excel after this. And Adrian Peterson said, "Well, I know exactly how you feel." Well, I bet you do. You lost me some money in that NFC Championship game versus the Saints. Adrian Peterson fumbled that game away single-handedly. Most people only remember Blair Favre getting beat up and throwing a pick at the end. But do people remember how many times the the Vikings was in the red zone and Adrian Peterson turned it over and fumbled? So exactly, this is a great thing that Adrian Peterson is here to walk him through that. This will not define this young man. He comes from Philly, so we already know he's tough. What's week 1? It's one game. Guess what? You get to redeem yourself later this season. We see the Bears again. People want to act like, oh, this is the most heartbreaking loss they ever seen, and we lost in a lot of different ways. I seen Sam Martin, a punter, lose a game for us. How many times do you say a punter can lose the game for you? Maybe if you Michigan a few years ago, still hurts. And I have some Big Ten news tomorrow, so good. I look like we're going to be having some Michigan game reviews this year, so that's positive. But get off of him. He's a kid. They act like this was the Super Bowl and he dropped the ball. It's all right. We lost before. We lost a whole bunch of times. You know, people going a little bit overboard, man. So this won't define him at all. He from Philly. He tough. And he bounced back. So, you know, I hate when people go to like the Saints game. I was talking to my boy 2 years ago when they lost to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. And we was talking, and I was like, man, and he said while we was on the phone talking, he said, man, the Saints is going to regret kicking those field goals and not scoring touchdowns. And ultimately they did. Every time you go down there and kick a field goal instead of a touchdown, you leave 4 points on the board. So the Lions should have smashed it in way more. So it could have been a cumulative of things why they lost the game before DeAndre Swift. This game should have been out of reach before then. But let's talk about y'all guy, y'all man, y'all coach, y'all boy, y'all man, Matt Patricia. He goes on to say, I don't think so. All right, when it comes to if coaching woes is the reason they keep Meltdown in the fourth quarter. He said, I don't think so. I think I got probably one of the biggest plays in the fourth quarter history of the National Football League, where I think I did a pretty good job, Patricia said. So I don't think so. So the question was, you know, was it the coaching is the reason that the Lions implode during those games? And the play would be Malcolm Butler's game-winning interception in the dying seconds of Super Bowl, whatever it was, XLIX. Of course, that was Bill Belichick's defense. What have Patricia's defenses done in Detroit other than collapse when it matters most? This is on 97.1 Ticket. So it goes on, no, seriously, what have he done? He's right. So basically, you know, he's basically living off what he did in New England. You know what I'm saying? He says that, you know, it's not the coaching that the team is imploding. I mean, this is the second straight game opener. Last time on the road, this time, you know, at home, that this team imploded and blew a fourth quarter lead. They did it multiple times last year, even with, I think, Driscoll and Blog at quarterback. So if it's not the coaching part, I mean, whose fault is it, to be honest? Is you blaming Bob Quinn for not doing something? Because you can't blame Matthew Stafford, you know, for all those games imploding in the fourth quarter, because also you interchange quarterbacks. Jeff Driscoll and David Blog also, you know, kind of, you know, hand to hand in that as well. So only thing I could think of, you know, it is your fault. You know what I'm saying? What aren't y'all doing offensively and defensively to stay aggressive? You know, and you can easily point to the excuse that, you know, you had, you know, your cornerbacks was all your top cornerbacks was out except for Amani. Okay. That's a valid excuse, but it's still don't excuse you blowing damn near a 20-point lead. So when you had healthy DBs and healthy Matthew Stafford, why is this team continuing to implode in the fourth quarter when under Jim Caldwell they thrived in the fourth quarter? So it has to be a combination of you or some of your coordinators not doing something. I mean, what is it? Is the team wore down from what you guys doing? One thing I do notice about the offense, when the offense is playing with pace, with high pace, they tend to be the more effective offense. You notice when they get in a hurry up in 2 minutes, 2-minute drill, they got the Bears on their heels and they just doing what they want to do with them. They come out in the first, second half, third quarter with the ball, they doing what they want to do with them. So, you know, when the Lions get to a situation offensively, when they start to slow the pace down and let the defense set up, then they don't thrive as much. When they play with pace and they playing from behind, Stafford seems to be more in rhythm. So that's something that you just think about is playing with a little bit more pace. Obviously, if you play with more pace and you go 3 and out, that wears the defense out. But, I mean, it's just something that they should experiment with every other drive or something of that nature. But, you know, it's definitely the coaching for the reason why, you know, this team is imploding in the fourth quarter. I mean, they go into this prevent defense. They go into this prevention offense where they don't stay aggressive. They don't look to go down the field. And, you know, today offensively, obviously Matthew Stafford didn't take care of the ball and he forced it to Jones and they gave Trubisky good field position. Go back when they kicked the long field goal when Matt Prater missed it. They gave Trubisky good field position. They never really backed Trubisky up in his own end zone when they had opportunities to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for him not taking accountability for his team and saying, I don't think it's the coach, Where who is it? Matthew Stafford? Are you blaming injuries? Are you blaming Swift for dropping the pass? Are you blaming Matt Prater for missing the field goal? Because if he made the field goal, then all he had to do was come down and hit the field goal, and we would have won the game. So who are you blaming? Are you blaming the officials? Are you blaming Darrell Bevel? Are you blaming Cordy Ulan for his defense today? He played a lot more zone than Patricia played all last year until the injuries came. So who is he blaming? Is he blaming the management for not getting a certain player? Is he blaming Jamie Collins for getting ejected? Is he blaming Bob Quinn for not going out there and getting the soldiers that he need? Where's the accountability from Matt Patricia? Where is it? He has no accountability. Oh, no, I had one of the biggest plays. That's New England. This is Detroit. You do know it's a difference. And right then and there lies with your issue. Your leadership is garbage. Matt Patricia is garbage. He can't even take accountability. And that's the first thing you got to do to resolve an issue is take accountability. Now you see why the Lions keep imploding in the fourth quarter, because their leader is not taking accountability. He don't think he the problem. So when he don't think he the problem, he changed everything around him. Scott Passaloni to Corey Ulan, you know what I'm saying? He changing the linebackers or all the players on defense to players he like. So at the end of the day, you got all the players on defense you like. So who's the blame? That's what I'm trying to ask. You want to see why Patricia can't get on his own way? You want to see why the Lions can't win under him? It's simple. He takes no accountability at all. That's the problem. He living off of Bill Belichick's rep and not his own. And obviously you can see, when it's like Jared Goff they on right now, when he can't have Sean McVay in his headset, he ain't shit. And when he can't be under Bill Belichick titty, he ain't shit neither. But hey, let me know what you guys think. The article is 97 on the ticket. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All the links in the description. Want to make a donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate. Share the video. Let me know what you guys think about Matt Patricia and about DeAndre Swift dropping the ball one time for the one time.